Hello fellow old schoolers. I got this random game from a couple of friends of mine sent to me from the Swiss of the Mountain of Madness tournament here. And then I found out that this is actually between Jonas and Jasper. And just for quick context here, the guy on the left is Jonas, and he's the guy behind this entire tournament. He's like a one-man army, really setting this up each year, so kudos to him. It's really impressive. And he's a member of the crew called Masters of Presence, a really large crew in Jutland. Now, Old School is a huge thing in Denmark, and there are like a handful of really large crews in the Jutland Peninsula where I live. We're one of them. I mean, I'm a co-founder of Mtg Guilds, and it's a very large crew as well. And the guy on the right here is one of three brothers who founded the Long Island crew, and they have the Long Island Cup that we've seen on this channel a bunch as well. So even though we're all friends here, of course we are, there's some rivalry here as well. So this particular matchup, there's more on the line here than just a positioning in the Swiss. I mean, this is one for the sagas, as people will try to not only win, but also have the sweetest deck while doing it, and the sweetest strategy. So without further ado, let's go over Jonas's deck here, and then we'll follow up with a look at Jasper's deck. This is Jonas and his red and green brew. All those guys in the white shirts in the background of that picture, that's the t-shirt for Masters of Presence. Those are crew members. And each time I spot Jonas at a tournament, he's on a new brew. He's one of those guys that have been in the format since the beginning, so he just has this large collection. And I've dubbed this deck an ode to Urnum Burnham, because it's really a classical archetype, this one, as old as the format, I guess. Red and green with Curd Apes, Urnumgens, Giant Growths, Bolts, all that stuff. Really an aggressive aggro burn deck here. But we also see that there are 4 Elvis Archers, really beautiful here. And that's really a callback. Also those Dragon Whelps. I mean, Golden Pixies are strictly better in almost all situations. But it's a modern thing. I mean, when you if you want to brew Urnum Burnham the way it was brewed back in the day, you go Elvis Archers, and they do pack a punch with that first strike. I mean, it's great with the Giant Growth and Lightning Bolt, but it's not something that you really see anymore. And he also has, yeah, as I said, a couple of Dragon Whelps and a couple of Sheevan Dragons to top it all off. Here's his sideboard, just a beautiful. I mean, look at this, I'm drooling. Betas and unlimited cards everywhere. Flashfire, Blood Moon, Artifact Blast against probably against City in a Bottle, right? Because you can counter it before it drops down. The problem with City in a Bottle is that the moment it's been cast, it's usually done its damage. It's removed Curd Apes and Urnumgens and stuff like that. But with Artifact Blast, you can just stop it in its track and just counter it straight out. Then we have Concordant Crossroads. It's great to remove an Abyss with that, and it provides a lot of tempo for this deck, easily making those elves work like Moxen. I mean, they can tap for mana immediately, and you can just attack with your stuff immediately. Then we have Flashfire, Tsunamis against plains and islands. We have Shadow Storms against the deck and against robots, and Tranquilities if he really needs to get rid of an enchantment, probably like a moat or something like that, right? So we can sideboard that in. And then we have 4 Red Blasts just against blue as well. So a lot of hate here, Old School hate against blue, white, and artifacts in particular. Yeah, that's about it. Let's check out his opponent. This is what Jasper brought to the party here. We see him up there with a bear for some reason. Jasper is usually on some spicy prison archetype, and this time it's no different. It's usually something with Arborea or something like that, but this time it's a Parfait shell with Titania's song, and I've dubbed that Titania's Parfait. Yeah, not the most creative name, but Parfait is a prison archetype where you use Howling Mines and Relic Barriers and Winter Orb, and you can also use Ice Manipulators, and you use your Relic Barriers to tap the Howling Mine in the opponent's turn, so that you get to draw and your opponent doesn't. And you can also tap down your Winter Orb before it's your turn, so that the Winter Orb doesn't affect you. Then he has a lot of counter magic, a mana drain, power sink, he has a drop of honey to remove creatures, and balance, I think, and mind twist, recall. It's like a black recall. And we have a Sylvan library, just a bunch of one-offs here, regrowth, stuff like that, just to reuse cards and to remove creatures. Now then he has his win condition is a couple of fireballs, and that's it. And he will use that to fireball the other guy out, and failing that, he can cast Titania's Song, and all his artifacts will become creatures, and then he can just attack with his Relic Barriers, Icy Manipulators, and Howling Minds for the kill. So really spicy take here. As for his sideboard, we see it here. It's like a transformation sideboard here, where you can bring in a full playset of Energins and Serenity Befrieds, and backed up by Sonic Blast to really just punch in. So he goes from a creatureless deck, so the other guy will take out all his Sorcerer Plowshares, and then the big fat creatures comes in. And he has 3 Stormseekers against control, I imagine, and a Hercule's Recall against artifact decks. Those 4 cards will not come in play here. Now, as for the matchup is not the best, just looking at it here for Jasper, because it's really hard to box Burnham in with Wintorbs, because he has those mana elves and he has a very low mana curve. So I do expect Burnham to be the favorite in the beginning here, and I think Jasper needs to really just transform his sideboard immediately, get some more muscle in there, all his big creatures, and just try to go toe to toe with Burnham with his larger creatures and Icy Manipulators, really trying to win the creature war instead. Usually the Parfait archetype is really good against mid-range and can also be used against robots, because you can tap robots down with your Relic Barriers. It can also be used, it's also great against control. Just stuff that are slow. But this matchup, yeah, he'll have his work cut out for him, I think. But that's enough of my rambling. These are the decks, 2 very nice spicy brews here. One very nostalgic, coming with the oldest version of Burnham imaginable, and another with a very spicy prison take. Let's get ready to rock. We see Jonas' starting hand here: Channel, Llanowar Elf, starting Library of Alexandria, and a Sol Ring, and a Tiger, and a City of Brass. Perfect hand. Early library and fast mana. Can't see the other hand, but there's a Mirror Universe there that might come in handy in this particular game. So round 1, who's on the play? Okay, starting off with the Library of Alexandria. Burnham on the loose here. Let's see if Titania's Parfait has something against it. As a Demonic Tutor, now he could just tutor for a Strip Mine or something, or if he has a lot of fast mana, he can try to Mind Twist the other guy's hand to put him out of library range, but could also be an Ancestor, but that would be rather risky in this situation, depending on how many answers he has against that library. We shall see what he chooses here. It's a bit of an unfortunate glare on Jonas' side. There's a lot of light coming in from a window in the back here, but that's a Tiger coming out. And he drew an extra card with that library, so already it's paid for itself. Tapping the Tiger, giving it a good think here. There's something really he's really considering something here. I think we'll just go a bit forward here. I don't know if they're discussing something or what's going on. Okay, playing a Sol Ring, yeah. So you can't really design a hand better for this. Okay, Strip Mine in the library. So no more library party here. Oh, and then Disenchant on the Sol Ring. So Parfait just has all the answers here. Okay, first creature coming out, Vicious Glare there. There's a Llanowar Elf and a Curd Ape here. Put down some graphic here, just so we can remember what it is. And the Tiger will make the Curd Ape into a 2/3. Sylvan Library and a Mace of Ith coming out of Parfait here, so really defending himself and now going for that soft card advantage. Oh, Blood Moon though. that makes the Maze of Ith into a mountain. He can't defend himself. And there's still a forest, basic forest down there, so the Curdape is still big. Going in for 3 damage then. So Titania's Parfait is really trying to defend herself, but each time she does, another attempt here, Ice Manipulator coming out. She just needs to survive the early game, and then she can sink her teeth in with that, with all those artifacts and Winter Orb, and finally Titania's Song. But all those Mazes of Ith in his deck won't really work under a Blood Moon. And that's his main line of defense in this deck, actually. But the Icy will work as well. It can tap down the Curdape, I suppose. Oh, it could. That's a Shatter. Shattering the Icy Manipulator in the hand of Titania. Coming in again, those little critters for 3 points of damage each attempt. Titania's Song is trying to do here. Titania's Parfait is getting foiled. Searching through the Sylvan Library, but can't find an answer here. Not yet. Remember, all his lands are mountains, and he doesn't play much red. Urnamjin coming down here. There's just no end to the pressure of the old school Burnham brew here. Let's see what comes out this time. Mirror Universe, cheeky stuff. Now he needs to kill him in 1 turn or he'll trade life. Can you do that? 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Oh, that's a bolt coming in for 7. Oh, a Berserk on the Urnamjin. That's even more bolts. Okay, Burnham just punching in here. That's what that deck can do. With a Berserking Urnamjin for 8 points of damage, and then 11 with the small critters and a bolt. That's 14 points of damage. That's game number 1. So round number 2 here. And Titania's Parfait will be on the play this time. See, no, I can't really see her hand. It's a bit off camera here. That's a Disenchant. That's it. Let's see if we can see Jonas's hand. Yeah, we can. Concordant Crossroads, Curdape, and a Pendelhaven, a few Moxen. No, a Mox Ruby and a Black Lotus, and a Forest and a Tiger, I think it was, and a Pendelhaven. So a lot of mana, and the Concordant Crossroads and the Curdape. Ooh, Ancestor Recall straight from the get-go. You'll be curious to see if Titania's Parfait has put in her sideboard transformation here, soaring into Candelabra of Taurus here. Mox Ruby and a Pendelhaven out of the hand of Burnham into a Curdape and a Concordant Crossroads. He can attack immediately with the Curdape for a single point of damage here. Remember, the Curdape doesn't have a forest, so it's just a 1/1. The Pendelhaven doesn't count as a basic forest. But next turn he can pump that Curdape. If he doesn't have a forest, he can pump the Curdape +1/+2. Okay, so straight from the get-go, Titania's Parfait really needs to scramble here. Let's see if she can put on a Serenity Befried or something. Maybe she's gone a different route. Okay, Disenchanting the Concordant Crossroads. I suppose that makes sense. It will really speed up the opposing deck, and this is not exactly what Titania's Song needs. She doesn't need a speed up on the opponent here. Tiger coming out, so the Curdape is a 2/3. Black Lotus coming out. The Ape gets in for 2, cracking the Lotus, and there's an Urnamjin. So really classical here, Urnamjin Curdape combination. And we know there aren't any cities in the bottle from Titania's Parfait. Would be nice if she had them, but no such luck in this particular brew. Recall. Getting rid of Sonic Blast. He must have put that in there. He must have put it in there from the sideboard. Now, Ancestor Recall. Getting Recall straight back from the graveyard and used again. As a Sort of Plowshares, drew into that. Used the Mox Pearl to get rid of the Urnamjin. So it's part of the course that Titania's Parfait will be on the back foot in the opening matches, in the opening rounds of the match here. She just needs to stabilize, make the other guy empty his hand, and then her card advantage and prison setup will rule the game. But I mean, he's down to 14 points of life here. so doesn't look too shabby actually. And up 2 ancestral recalls. Kato gets in here for 2. Oh, that's a big one. Another Unamgen though. Can Titania's Parfait keep on having the answers here? At least aren't any Blood Moons. Perhaps a Mace of Ith or an Icy. She is down to 12. Let's see. Okay, something comes out here. Don't know how many cards there are left in the hand of Unam. It doesn't have much of a draw engine, so once it runs out of steam, it can only deploy the creatures that it draws into one at a time, unless it gets a Southern Library, of course. Okay, a lot of thinking back and forth here out of Titania's Parfait. A real big decision here, I suppose. Let's cut a bit forward. Okay, he decided here. Paying all his mana for a double Sonic Blast on the Unam. Taking 4 points of damage just to get rid of it, but I suppose if that's all you got. Down to 6 points of life though. Cheeky Unam, only needing 1 more damage to die from a Sonic Blast because it has 5 in toughness, but if you have no other way, you need to just fling another Sonic Blast at it. I do think that was very expensive. You're down to 4 points of life here. An attack and a bolt, and that's game. Let's see. Coming in down to 1. What's this? Lightning Bolt. Do we have a counter spell? No. What? No, okay. He forfeits the game. He had a Sonic Blast, I think. Couldn't cast it. It would kill him. Yeah. That old school Unam deck just took out the prison deck. I think that was reasonable. I mean, it is very, very hard matchup for the prison deck to make this work. He has his sideboard. Oh, he didn't take his creatures in. I think he should have. Just to help him survive that early game. Both are creatures with above 3 in toughness, so pretty damn difficult for Unam to get rid of them. Yeah, we see the sideboard options here. Artifact Blasts, Blood Moon, 3 Blue Blasts, and a Concordant Crossroads. Got in for Unam side, and then we had like 3 Sonic Blasts into the deck for Titania's Parfait. Yep, so it was Masters of Presence that won over the Long Island crew in this particular bout. Will continue in the tournament, but I bet this is not over yet. The Long Island crew will get back at them. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next battle.